Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Merry Morning Show. I have been up and we took my car into the shop already this morning because it needs nothing to worry about. It's just a good old uh, oil change, tire rotation, and whatever. And it needs it in like 500 miles, but the trip home is like 1,500 miles. So we're like, we could push it, but we managed to get an appointment here. So the appointment's not till 1:30 in the afternoon. However, and now I'm just realizing the woman was like, "When do you want it picked up?" And I said, "Oh, between 3 and 4." And she said, I'll write down that it needs to be ready at 2." And I just now realized that the appointment is technically not till 1:30. So how the heck are they going to have it ready by 2? Which makes me wonder how many appointments. They had no appointments available. We happened to call. When I called, there were no appointments available. When my husband called, there was a cancellation. So we managed to get in, of course, on the least free day of the week. And Gracie's over there killing Santa Claus. And nobody that shows up here has children, right? I don't think so. At least not this early. Yesterday on my Instagram stories, I did think, and I know Lissa commented on it when I was talking about how Gracie has once again this year killed Santa Claus. I was like, oh gosh, I hope no children heard that. But I don't think any children listened to the live stream. So excellent. But anyway, I've been up. We got the car in, went for a good old like 15-minute drive down an alarmingly busy street. I'm never up and out of the house at 7:30 in the morning. And if I am, it's solely to get to church on a Sunday morning, and there ain't nobody awake on a Sunday morning in um, the suburbs of Minneapolis unless you're going to church, you know? Um, so when we hit the outside of the subdivision and the traffic on the road was so busy that I could not even turn right and like sneak in at the stoplight, I was like, oh, this is going to be real, real pleasant first thing in the morning without coffee. Awesome. But thankfully, the people at the place were like super nice. There's this jovial guy there that was, he asked for my last name, and I told him, and he's like, wow, that's a mouthful. And so I told him what my maiden name was, and then we joked. It was funny, and the lady was super nice. I saw me pull in, and she's like, Minnesota, you're a long way from home. I go, yeah, and I'm here so I can get back. um, anyway, it's been a morning, and this is my first cup of coffee, y'all. I topped it off a little bit. I got about halfway through it before I had to sit down and chat with you guys. I want to know what the bold button does on a coffee maker. And here's why. This coffee, I feel like could fuel a car. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Like I took my first sip and I was like, phew. You know how some days you take the sip of coffee and you can feel it hit your veins? Like that's what that felt like this morning. And I was like, what? What did I do? What does the bold setting on a good old fashioned drip coffee maker do? What does it change? Because the Keurig machines, the newer ones, you know how I say that Keurig makes a crap cup of coffee? My grandparents have a Keurig machine. So now that we're going to be there for a week, they'll probably pull out the drip coffee maker every morning. But when we just fly by for a day or two, they don't, and we have Keurig coffee. But their Keurig has a strong button, and if you hit the strong button, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. It actually tastes like a pretty legit cup of coffee. What does the bold button do that makes the coffee so much stronger? Does it just like let it sink into the grounds before propelling it through? I don't even know, but it works. I'm telling you, it works. Anyway, let's get to the comments. Hello, Lissa and Amberly, April, Donna, Tracy. Good morning, my friends. It is lovely to see you this morning. Donna has her coffee ready to go. April says, happy Tuesday. For whatever reason, like Thursday or Friday almost came out of my mouth this morning. Can I have that, please? Yes, Amberly. Santa, who she got Sunday, is dead. Very, very dead. This is the thing she's trying to get out of him. She has unstuffed him, sliced him open, ripped out his blood, and is now going after the heart. And you guys can't see the little face looking up at me from under the table. Be careful, don't hit your head. She's very needy lately, y'all. She's very needy. I'm trying to be up and out before 7:30 today, and I'm in bed. I gotta tell you. So, remember how in real time I realized that I had been using the wrong alarm setting on my Sleep Cycle app? Sleep Cycle has gotten me up. This morning it woke me up at 6:50, and yesterday it woke me up at like 7, I think. And I have more morning energy. There is something to it. I'm telling you. And I was like, I'm kicking myself for like, I haven't had, I haven't had the right setting on the alarm for I don't even know how long. Because I remember discovering that I had the third setting. And must have changed it because I didn't want to get up early. Probably back when I'm like, I'd rather sleep until 7:30 than actually then, try to get up at 6:30 and pry myself out of bed and blah, blah, blah. Um, Now I'm back on Sleep Cycle's, like, actual job, and I love it. I love it. I feel energized this morning, which is really saying something because at 4:15, the rain woke me up, and it took me probably 45 minutes to an hour to fall back asleep. Again, shout out to Amberly for the pro tip of leaving your bottle of CBD oil on the nightstand because I got up, I went to the bathroom, I popped some CBD under my tongue, took a swig of water. Fun fact, even though it's after hours, your Hydrate Spark will still light up if you have it set to light up every time you take a drink. It will light up in the dead of night. Learned that one last night. Um, So, like, I was up, but again, with the whole, like, I've finally accepted, like, even if I'm not asleep, I'm still resting. Let's lay there. Let's just, So I listened to the rain. I popped earplugs in and out to try and be like, am I better silent or am I better listening to the rain? And eventually I fell back asleep and I was like, this is going to be a rough morning. But then when my alarm went off at 6:50, I was awake. I was like, huh, I don't, I don't know. I should check my aura ring. That's what I should do. I should check my aura ring and see what that has to say about how I slept. Because the sleep cycle said I was dead asleep, dead to the world. Poof. Woke up, dead to the world. So readiness is 81, sleep is 87. Okay, okay, I see you. I'm not mad. Okay. Oh, thank you, Gracie. No, give me it. Thank you. I'm multitasking here this morning, friends. So today, I am going for tea. I have to, after this, I don't get to work out. I have to go shower and I'm going to throw on a dress and actually put makeup on for maybe the third or fourth time since I've been down here. I don't know why I bothered to bring makeup to Florida. Honestly, I don't. I brought like not much, but enough. I've used it like 3 times. Thanksgiving, the surprise party. And then I think I randomly put makeup on the other day for our Christmas. I put a little bit of makeup on because I knew I was going to get pictures taken. That's it. I have not been wearing makeup. I have not been wearing makeup at all. But because we are going for tea, grandmother is taking the caregiver. So grandfather has full-time care, 24-hour care in home. And so there's a group of rotating caregivers. There's one male and 3 females. And grandmother is taking the female caregivers to tea today. There's this really cute little tea house that's literally a house that has been repurposed into this restaurant, and it's got like all like it's like walking into your grandma's house. If your grandma had like all of the old school frilly stuff on the wall and the eclectic collection of stuff, I've only been there once before, and we actually went when my parents came down here. Grandmother once again took all of the women. So my mother-in-law, my mom, me, I think my sister-in-law was with us, and did I say my mother-in-law? Yes, and then grandmother came, and we went to tea at this place. And it's a whole meal. It's a whole like fancy meal. My water bottle's blinking at me. And so we're doing that this afternoon, early this afternoon. Like I think we're meeting at 12. So it's just, and then of course we're supposed to be there from 12 to like 1:30, and then the only appointment available for the car was at 1:30. And I'm like, the one day, though I haven't had plans this whole time we've been here. The one day I actually have somewhere to be. Oh my goodness. Y'all are still on about this sleep thing. I had good morning. I'm in the car on my way to the doctor's office, got my coffee with me. Do you know how happy it makes me that you all are like, I've got my coffee. Good morning. My coffee is here. Y'all are my people. Y'all are my people. Kim, good morning. I always know it's you with the emojis popping into the chat. I've been using an app too, and I feel much better in the morning. Yeah. Oh, she's killing Santa. She's still trying to get that thing out. I turned my Fitbit alarm off when it went off, went to bed before 9:30, ended up getting her up around 7:15. Showered, got dressed, and crawled back into bed. Well, the amount of sleep you got is exceptional. So use that. Take advantage of that because that's amazing. As long as you feel good. As long as you feel good. Sleep as Android and Sleep Cycle. I need new coffee maker. The French press was nice, but it's too high effort for me. How do you like Sleep as Android? I like it. They have a paid version, which is what I use, but the free app is good too. Awesome. What's the difference between Sleep Cycle and Sleep as? I have no idea. So shoot, I was gonna tell you guys something. Oh, so while y'all are talking about that, what did I do yesterday? I had for feeling like I didn't do all that much. I realized at 4 o'clock this morning that I forgot to upload the video that I had finished yesterday. So that is going to go up. I'm going to upload it once I'm done here, but of course I'm not going to be home to publish it. So it'll be up tonight or tomorrow. But y'all, I caught up on my finances yesterday, my business finances. I have the spreadsheet. It's super simple. My Excel god husband created for me like in 2016 or 2017. And it's just, money in, money out. And it just lets me have all my expenses so I can just hand this document over to the accountant when tax time comes. And while I've been keeping up with like, let's see what's in the business bank account. Let's see what the credit card bill is. Let's pay off the credit card bill. Like I've been doing those things. I have not been going through and writing down every instance of expense and income. And so the last time I did that was the very beginning of August. So I popped on some classic Christmas music on the headphones, and I did my finances. It only took me about an hour and a half. But I'm all up to date. So I just have to, it's the 14th. So just the last 2.5, 3 weeks of December, and I'll be all set to go for tax season. That felt very, very, very productive. And then in the last 24 hours, I have gotten not one, but two client sign-ons for taking advantage of the Black Friday deal that I had, which was amazing. Why the squirrel? Why the squirrel? Give me this. Let me show them the squirrel. I don't know if you guys remember the vlog, like in the vlogs. I don't know if I put in the vlogs. We bought Gracie this big old stump that had holes in it, and then you put squirrels in the stump, and we bought her the big one, and she loved it, and my husband hated it. My mother-in-law, without knowing that we despised these things, bought her the mini version. Can we talk about the size of these little squirrels that she now carries around? And I'm not gonna throw this for you because all you're gonna do is squeak it. It has a loud and obnoxious squeaker, and now she's looking at me all sad. Come here, come here, come here, come. No, you're not gonna. No, okay. Yeah. So it was a good day yesterday. It was a productive day, even though like I didn't feel like I did much. I still like at the end of the day, I was like, I had sign-ins today. I got paid today. I did finances today. It's a good day. So it was a solid way to start a week. I don't feel good, achy, sore throat, feel yucky. Oh no. Well, that's not good. Well, maybe showering and going back to bed is the right thing to do then, Lissa. Is a bit more detailed. Sleep cycle isn't as good on Android as it is on iPhone. Okay. The Android Sleep Cycle app is behind the Apple one. Okay. Yeah, and I've heard that before where Android, the app is just not as complete. So anyway, that's all I have to report today, y'all. I've accomplished 2 of my 3 goals. Not bad since it's Tuesday. That is exceptional. That is exceptional. If you accomplish 2 of your 3 goals by Tuesday morning, that's fabulous. I love that. It's interesting. We're going to be looking up like the Bible verse and everything together because I didn't do any journaling or anything this morning, but I noticed when I was journaling yesterday, one of the things I talked about, you know how there are the different cycle syncing phases of productivity based on your cycle, and how I really acknowledge like the brainstorming part of the cycle, and how I'm like, my mind was just like tick, 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 with all of the ideas. And so, like, even though we're not going to do all the ideas, I write down all the ideas, and my brain is just all over creation with ideas. I noticed that yesterday, because now I'm in my luteal phase, so it's like the task oriented phase. So it's like, it's not brainstorming. You don't really want to communicate with people, but it's the put your head down and get things done part of productivity phase. And I noticed that I was heavy into brainstorming again, but it was a different kind of brainstorming. All I could think about was like all of the different things that I could or should be doing. You know, like, oh, I have to go to the store and get these things. Oh, I have these random tasks that I need to do. Or I could be doing, and it was all oriented towards what I need to do instead of broader ideas of what I can create. And I acknowledged that in my morning pages. I was like, it's really interesting that there's actually appears to be a difference in the type of brainstorming that I am doing. Because at first I was like, this is weird. Why am I brainstorming so much? But I noticed it wasn't brainstorming like coming up with ideas. It was just, let me put all of the tasks that I should be doing down. So I have a compiled list of things that I can be doing. I thought it was so interesting how it was very different. It felt the same, but it was two completely different topics based on where I was in my cycle. It's so interesting. Hi, Dad. Good morning. Um, the random man is my father, y'all. um, are you ready for us to come visit? It's almost time, man. It's almost time. Almost Christmas. Um, and it's funny, fun fact, he's the only one that calls me, oh no, wait, my grandpa also used to call me B, not Bree, B, which now that I'm thinking about it, so fun fact about me, my nickname was never supposed to be Bree. I didn't know this. I did not know that my nickname was not supposed to be Bree. My parents called me Brianna, or my dad called me B, and my grandpa called me B. I can hear him saying, "Hey B," but never Bree. And then in high school, people started calling me Bree, and of course, I didn't think anything of it. I was fine with it. I don't care. Hello, Enneagram 9. I didn't care. And so then my nickname became Bree. And my mom's like, I spent your entire life trying to make sure you weren't called Bree. But now I'm wondering, did you call me B because it wasn't Bree? And have you tried to call me Bree? We were just lazy. Okay, that's fair. I was like, but did you call me B because Bree was unacceptable by mom? That's what I'm wondering. But like, it was just so funny. And so like my mom told me that, and I was like, you never told me. How was I supposed to know that I was supposed to control my nickname? Because if that was your intent, I would have I would have not been called Brie, but I couldn't care less. So now I'm Brie, and that's what everyone calls me. And I don't care. But I thought it was really funny. And then the other thing that I kept getting asked that about my name is, how do you pronounce it? And I was like, is it Brianna or Brianna? And I was like, I remember the first time I was, or like, I've been asked that a couple of times. And finally I was like, I don't actually know the answer, because like the way I say my name, like, doesn't really matter. The intention was, how did my parents mean for my name to be said? So finally I walked up to my mom and I was just like, Mom, say my name. And she said, Brianna. And I was like, okay. And so from that point on, I was like, my name is Brianna, not Brianna. B, T, and D. Yes. No, you called Christina P, not D, or not T. You called her P, which made no sense because T would have made more sense, but you called her P, not T. Um, I'm trying to balance wanting to get my crap together with needing to rest. Aren't we all? But if you're ill, if you feel like achy and like tired, not like morning tired, but like I'm sick tired, then you need to rest, right? And if you have the opportunity, do that. Doesn't your new job start in January? So like now is the time to take advantage, sleep it off, get healed and healthy before you go back to work. I'm nearly done wrapping presents, still have a couple things I'm waiting on. I've recently figured out if I have wine or alcohol in the evening, according to my Garmin, my body doesn't like it. I don't recharge. That is real. That is very, very real. Drinking in the evenings jacks up your sleep, jacks it up. And I learned this early on. I learned this early on that, like, after, like, in college or whatever, you'd drink in the evenings, whatever. I noticed that I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I would wake up, like, awake in the middle of the night. And of course, I was tired, so I didn't want to be awake. But I noticed this trend of, if you drank before bed, you woke up with a start, and it's because it's your body's literally burning off the sugars. And so it's actually in the chronotype books that I've read, like, is for the bear chronotype anyway, you're supposed to, like, not have a drink after 8 p.m. when your bedtime is 11. Like, the earlier the better. So I definitely, it is a choice. It is a choice if I decide to have a beverage late in the evening. And I usually don't make that choice. If I have something, it's with dinner or right after dinner, and not before bed. No, that is very real. Very real. I'm not getting the notifications for your show. I'm here now. Well, I'm glad you're here. Um, do you have the little bell clicked? To be fair, I did in fact create this stream a lot later than I normally do. I usually do it first thing in the morning, and it was not first thing in the morning today. I got home, I made the coffee, whatever, and all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, I need to go create the stream." Um, I always tried to control what people called me. Nobody cared. People called me what they wanted despite my protests. My sister's kind of like that. My sister wanted to be called Chris for a long time. I refused. She refuses to be called Tina, but I still call her Tina. And I'm the only one allowed to call her Tina. And because I'm just like, no, I don't know why I call her Tina, but I regularly do it. And even though she's like, no, don't call me Tina, I still do. And she's just resigned herself. She's like, all right, whatever, you can call me Tina. Um, da, 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 da. I avoided certain names for my kids because of the potential nicknames. Yep, yep. Um, I've also seen, like, there are certain last names that, like, you have to avoid the first name with certain last names and things like that. Um, I do have the bell clicked. I was watching another video, so that may be it. Interesting. I don't actually know how the notifications on here work. I know that it's more beneficial to us if you have the bell clicked, because at least you're getting notified when we upload things, and then, like, people will pay more attention to the notifications, and then you'll watch my video and all that jazz. But I don't know. Um, I don't care what people call me. I just don't want you to touch me. Fair enough. Fair enough. How's that going with a 5-year-old living in your house? Um, he is the man of many names. I call him Dad. Alice calls him Papa. My cousins. Here's a nickname. I'm gonna out your nickname that my cousins have for you, Dad. Um, my cousins call him Uncle Sid. Do you guys know what Sid is from? And he calls the boys Sid, all of them, all 3 of the boys. For those of you who don't know, I have 3 cousins. My grandpa has 2 kids, my dad and my uncle. My dad had 3 girls, my uncle had 3 boys, and we are alternating. Um, so it's me, cousin number 1, my sister, cousin number 2. It's the perfect little, like, package of cousins. It really is. And they call him Sid, Uncle Sid, and he calls them Sid. Do we know what Sid is from? And Sid is you are a troublesome pain in the neck name. I want to see if anybody guesses it. I'm hoping I have my facts straight. um, which is why I'm picking and choosing what I get done today. No workout or step goal, but I can still shower, do skincare, work on the blog. People call me Alyssa, Lisa, Melissa, then a bunch of other nicknames that were just plain mean. My grandmother knew someone with the last name Lear who named their daughter Crystal Shanda. Oh my gosh. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Crystal Chandelier. Really? Really? Who does that? She's the reason. I'm glad you guys are coming. Take her pain in the butt off of me. It's true. Um, it's snowing steady here. Remind me where you are, Kim. Iowa? Is that what you said? I like the look of it. Hate anxious driving in it. Lived here 30 years and I can't get over it. Don't I know it, Kim? Don't I know it? That's very, very real. I'm the same. Like I'm here and like apparently, did I tell you guys this yesterday? Idaho. Okay. I knew it started with an I. I couldn't remember which one. Um, the snow that our city got should disappear on Wednesday. It is supposed to be 51 and a 90% chance of rain, which means everything is just going to wash away. And then hopefully it doesn't just turn into a sheet of ice that remains until we get home. Hopefully all the snow disappears and we get home safely and unpacked and maybe to the grocery store without the snow. I don't love the cold. I don't like the cold. I hate the cold, actually. I despise the cold. However, if it's just cold and not snowy, I can survive. I can put on the layers. I can go outside. I can run the errands. Like if it's sunny and the roads are dry and everything is safe, I prefer that to being covered in snow every time. Even if it meant it was 20 degrees warmer, but it was still covered in snow, I'd rather it not be snowy and icy. I'd rather it just be freaking cold, but have everything be dry, you know? Um, my dad is entertaining. Something like that. Sid and Nancy. No, so Sid from Toy Story, y'all. The really, really brutally mean boy that dismantles the toys and does really bullies them and destroys them and everything. His name is Sid, right? From Toy Story. That's what they call each other. Sid from Toy Story. Yes. 65 degrees here tomorrow. Man, hang on to that until we get there. Seriously. It's one awesome day. Yeah, Wednesday. It's 65 at home in Illinois, and it's going to be like 51 at home in Minnesota. That's crazy. That's worse than Sid and Nancy. Oh yeah. No, brutally mean. Brutally mean, but that's what they call each other. And they still do. My cousins are grown, married, and have children. And they say, "Hey, Uncle Sid." Like, yeah, yeah. I can't work out until Monday, which is a bummer, but it's helping me getting other things done. I've always been Lissa or Liss. Though when I was little, my dad called me Lou or Lulu Bell. Does the cold affect your CMT? Yes. Yes. The cold affects my CMT horribly. And it's just because like if you think about going outside in like below freezing weather, right? In below freezing weather, if your hands are exposed, right, you start to lose the feeling in your hands. Your nerves start to deaden, right? When you're out in the cold. That's just it happens to everybody. Now imagine already having pre-deadened nerves and then going out in the cold. So I can literally feel, especially my hands. My hands is the first place that feels it, and then from my calves down is the second place that feels it if I'm out in the cold too long. But I can literally feel like the synapses in my nerves slowing down. So like if I'm outside and I get cold, or even if I'm inside, if I'm upstairs in my office, y'all, I get so cold in my office in the winter. When I'm trying to type, I can feel that my hands have slowed down because of the cold. So yeah, cold and I are not friends. We are not friends. I don't imagine that we would be friends even if I didn't have CMT, but because of the CMT, it directly affects me in a very negative way. So, which is why I'm so focused on like, I need all the warm and cozy things. I have, we'll always have like some hot tea or something because I can warm my hands on the mug, things like that. Like the cold and I are not friends. And it's not just out of a dislike for it. It literally limits my functionality, which is a pain in the neck. Every time I went to the doctor, the nurse would yell out Michael instead of Michelle. Oh gosh. Even though officially I didn't go by Lissa till I was 7. That's worse than Nancy. Florida is sounding good. Is it humid there? I've never been. Yes, it's very humid here, especially when it's rained all night. You've never been to Florida? Wow. I just feel like Florida is a destination for pretty much anybody that lives in the continental United States, especially because Disney is down here. Yeah, it's humid. It's typically very humid. It's nice to go outside in the mornings, like before it has hit 70, which in like the spring, summer, and fall, you don't get that option. But in the winter, like right now, it is currently 72 degrees. But I wore this sweatshirt. I'm in shorts. You can't see, but I'm in shorts. But I wore a sweatshirt out this morning because it was not quite warm enough to not wear long sleeves for me early in the morning. Toy Story was actually my first guess, but I usually live in a bubble and don't get references. Nope, Toy Story. Justin as a young kid looked like Sid. Okay, so that's how it started. My cousin looked like Sid. Um, and that's how it started. And it never went away. Never went away. It's funny how nicknames you had as a kid never went away. Like I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure my grandfather will still call me B. Not all the time, but I don't think he's ever called me Bree. If he calls me by a short name, it's either Brianna or B, but not anything else. I can hear his voice saying it, but I don't know if it's like a memory from years ago or a memory from the last time I was there. Um, when I was in the Army, a guy called his girlfriend Boo. I loved that. So my daughter's nickname is Boo. She's 19 and I still call her Boo. I love that. I call Gracie Boo Boo. I ordered heated gloves to ride the ATVs in the winter here in New Hampshire. My hands get so cold. Let me know, like for real, let me know what gloves you got. So I have a pair of heated gloves that are like they're fingerless. So here's the thing, and this is how life with CMT gets complicated. Oh, good question, April. CMT is genetic, y'all, for those of you that don't know. And my darling father is the one who had it first. And my grandpa also has it. So that's the line. My grandpa, my dad, me. My second sister, Alice's mom, does not have it. My youngest sister does have it. But you'd never know. You would have no idea that she had it because her only deficit is a weak right hip. And you don't really realize that you have a weak right hip until you're trying to get up off the floor. So she just can't get up off the floor leading with her right leg. She has to use her left leg. That's her only deficit, as far as I know, as far as I've been informed. And we all present very, very differently, which is interesting. He calls you B more than anything else. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like it's so instinctual to answer when he calls me that I don't necessarily notice what he's calling me. Uh, but I vividly remember him saying that regularly. Um, but so for me, with the CMT, my hands are so weak that the problem is if you stick my hands in big old gloves, I also don't have the strength to move the fingers. So, like, I'm useless. So, if you get big old heated gloves, that's great and all. But if I can't use my hands, there's no point. So, I often wear fingerless gloves. I wear fingerless gloves. So, at least from here down, my hands are covered and warm. So I have a pair of like knitted gloves that have heat packs that you stick in that are in them and they're USB powered. So when I'm sitting in my office, I can plug them into the computer and I have heated gloves, but my fingers are still exposed enough where I can move them. So I have those, but not I don't have any gloves. Like I desperately, and the problem is I don't go outside enough to make it worth it. I don't know, but like I would love a pair of heated socks that I could throw on my feet when I'm about to go like grocery shopping and run errands and do all those things. Or if I have to be outside for something, I haven't purposely hung out outside in the winter in years. Because in high school, we used to go to like the local Christmas tree lightings and things like that. And so we'd be outside for a few hours in late November and it was cold. The seasons hadn't shifted yet. So like it would actually be pretty cold in late November. And so that like I could feel myself slowly losing sensation through my jeans and everything. So that would be great. But they're also not cheap to get heated, like electric heated, battery powered socks, gloves. They even have a vest or a sweatshirt or something that I'm like, now that a sweatshirt, a heated sweatshirt or a heated jacket, that's what your girl needs. And so if we end up being in the Midwest for an extended period of time, maybe possibly, That's what I need to put on, like, my Christmas list next year. Be like, "Give me all of the things that keep me really warm." We lucked out last year and we spent all of winter here. So we literally missed calendar winter last year. So winter this year is just gonna feel like a slap in the face because it's been 2 years since we've had all of winter. And it's gonna be cold. My first Minnesota winter, I didn't realize, and it's just because I didn't think about it. I didn't realize just how different 6 hours north could be. Like, it's only a 6-hour drive from the city I grew up in, where I've lived all my life except for when I was in college and I went an hour north to northeast Wisconsin or southeast Wisconsin, and, like, that lake effect snow, that sucked, but, like, it was similar. It was only an hour. I didn't realize that going so far, it wasn't that far north, in my opinion, could be so different. So different, so dry. I've never experienced winter dryness like I have in Minnesota, and so cold. So cold. Bitter cold. We would have, like, wind chills of, I don't know, 20s, 10s, maybe even a wind chill of 0. But, like, we had a week where the high was literally 0, like, negative temperatures for a week. And I'm like, "What is this life?" And I was like, it would have made sense to me if we were, like, northern Minnesota, but we're not in northern Minnesota. I had no idea that winter could be so much worse. However, because there's a silver lining in everything, which apparently is also an Enneagram 9 thing, y'all, Enneagram 9s like to disassociate from anything that makes them uncomfortable or feel negative. Therefore, that is why they are always positive thinkers and silver lining people, because even if something is awful, if there's a silver lining, then you can protect yourself mentally from the awful thing. I seriously read that and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Because, like, that's what I'm known for, being a positive human being and always finding, like, the good side of something. That's an Enneagram 9 defense mechanism, y'all. Anyway, the silver lining of the bitter cold and everything is when you're in Chicago, it snows and it's pretty for, like, an hour and a half, and then the snowplows come through, and then it gets a little bit melty, and then the road you drive down, gets, sprays all the dirt and grime and tire junk and everything on the sides of the roads, and then all of your winter pretty is just gone. It's just mushy and gross and gray and brown, and the weather, like, the sun rarely shines in Chicago in the winter. It's just gross and gray. In Minnesota, it gets so cold that there are no clouds. So it will snow and then it will stay so freaking cold that the sky is clear, the sun is shining, and the snow doesn't melt and create all of that mush. So it's beautiful. That's the silver lining to the awful Minnesota winters, is it's gorgeous outside because the sun still shines. So for me, and the way our house is, we get sunshine coming in from in my office in the morning, and then in the bedroom and in the other side of the house in the afternoon and early evening. So I will make it a point during the winter to be where the sun is streaming in. So even though it's freezing outside, I'm still getting sunlight. Um, yeah, yeah. Nobody in my family goes by their legal name. Yes, way worse. I've been tempted to get those electric fingerless gloves for myself. They are a great purchase, man. Heated socks would be amazing. I know. I know. There's a thing, it's not, I don't know that it's practical, although it's literally marketed towards CMT people, but there are these big slipper things that are microwavable. I can't remember what they're called. It is a Canadian company, and I keep seeing them pop up in CMT Facebook groups or something like that, or like the H&F Foundation posts about them. I can't remember their names. They're like $40 or $60 for a pair, but you literally microwave them and then you stick them on your feet. And I was like, that would be because my feet get cold. I get so cold, especially at night after the sun goes down in the winter, where some nights I was thinking about this as I was in the shower, taking a hot shower in Florida the other day. I'm like, I need to make sure that I just regularly make it a nighttime routine to hop in a hot shower for about 10 or 15 minutes, because some nights that is the only thing that can thaw out the sensation of cold in my legs and my feet, and then I can sleep. If I feel cold, I cannot fall asleep. So, um, I that they wouldn't be a bad thing for me to have, but they look like they're so thick on the bottom that, like, they'd be a hazard to walk in, which is the part that I can't figure out. Um, I don't have feeling in my feet, so I don't need heated socks. As far as gloves go, I will buy a left and a right golf glove. They cover your hands and you're able to move. Okay, so they're fingerless then, right? I was actually looking at electric socks a couple months ago when I was looking for ideas for birthday, Christmas presents for you. Electric socks, man. Battery powered socks. I want them all. I want them all. It's pretty chilly here this morning, but nothing like Minnesota or up north. Um, I'm known for that too. I'm definitely not known for being positive. No, you are not. Following the sun like Gracie. I really do. I follow the sun like Gracie. It's true. I'm definitely a winter person instead of a summer person. I am definitely not. I just saw a TikTok this morning. Sharon Says So on Instagram posted it. She lives in Duluth, Minnesota. So like they've had snow for weeks. She's an outdoor enough person where like she's got two big old lab dogs that she takes out in the snow and they're running around and they're having the time of their lives in the snow, the big old dogs. And foot cookies? Foot cookies? What? Um, But, um, she posted this morning a TikTok video of somebody who said there are, something about like there are 2 types of people, the people that love winter and the people that hate winter, and it's a funny video. It's a funny video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a funny video. Um, but because it's true, and dude has a thick Midwestern accent, Minnesota accent, and it's legit, and I am the person that hates winter. I am. It is what it is. Microwave slippers. I had them a few years ago, definitely a fall hazard. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Like, just the way they look like they're this thick on the bottom, and I'm like, "There's no way my feet that I can't flex to begin with would like, I can't walk up the stairs to use those." So, like, I'd literally have to microwave them, go sit in my recliner, put them on, and just sit there, which is fine. That's an option, but it's not practical for, like, let me warm up my feet while I'm doing things. That's not gonna work for me. Um Cannot log in them. Maybe they're the brand you talked about. I have no idea. I can't remember the name of the brand. If I look around hard enough, I would be able to find them. I had them and they were perfect for when I was at my desk. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking. Like maybe microwave them, go upstairs, pop my feet in them. Um, I'm laughing so much at foot cookies. Do you experience a lot of pain and inflammation with CMT? Every person is different. I don't know that I have inflammation. I don't know that I have inflammation. If I'm inflamed, I can feel an ache somewhere, and that makes me go, oh, my muscles are inflamed because I pulled something, I exhausted something, I did something. So I can usually like I can feel it like in my lower back or whatever, and ibuprofen helps. And ibuprofen helps because it gets rid of some of the inflammation for me. Um, but I'm not regularly inflamed or anything, and I'm also not regularly in pain. My father is more frequently in pain than I am. And I get like the things that I notice, which is like the beginning of neuropathy, is I get like little, like imagine your nerves are wires, right? Little fine metal wires. And like one little part of a wire will shock. Like, that's it. I don't get anything big. Occasionally, I notice it the most in my big toe, because my big toe is kaput. I can't move my big toes. Um, Work is crazy. We'll catch the replay. Hi, Julie. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for popping in. Um, and so, like, I get it mostly in places that don't work, which is, of course, the most frustrating thing. But it makes the most sense. So, like, I'll get it in my wrist. I'll sometimes get it in my fingers, but only one. Like, not all of my fingers, but like this one will hurt, or this one will hurt, and my big toe. Trying to think if there's any other places that I get it, but that's really it in my extremities, which makes perfect sense because it's a peripheral nerve disease. So it tracks. That's normal. but I don't get it often. And if I do, like, I get it more often if I'm really tired physically, things like that. So, like, that's why when I got my vaccine and I took my shower and that tired me out, that's when the body ache set in, because that's normal for me. If I'm tired, I am more likely to be in pain. And I've also noticed that that happens when I work too hard. I've had a couple of really stellar days in the past couple of months where I'm like, I vividly remember, like, I was at home, I up early, worked out, did the coaching thing. Like, I was just go, 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 go all day long. And then I collapsed on the couch at like 7:30 and was exhausted. And then once I stopped the rest of the night, I was very uncomfortable from my knees down. Like, my calves just ached, but not like in a you worked out ache, in more of like a nerve, weird, not comfortable and not fixable ache. That happened to me one night, and then one other night, which was like only a couple days later, where I exhausted myself again. My big toe hurt so bad, so bad, that, like, I took extra magnesium. I put magnesium lotion on it. Like, I had my husband, like, massage my feet to try and get it to go away, and it just wouldn't. So I was like, well, guess I have to pray that I fall asleep. And then I did. I fell asleep and it was fine in the morning, but it was just overexertion can cause pain. Um, which is why I'm always talking about trying to find that balance, that balance of, like, I want to do all the things, but I also have to make sure I intentionally rest, because if I don't and I burn out, it causes physical pain. So trying to find that balance is definitely an ongoing work in progress, an ongoing lesson, things like that. So, okay. We've been at this for a long time. Look, my dad shows up and all of a sudden we keep talking about a bunch of stuff. Good grief. So, like I said, let's do this. This is the Write the Word Advent journal thing. You're welcome. I'm happy to share my experience. And like I said, today I didn't actually look it up. So this is the 13th. So this is the 14th, which I haven't actually dated. See, there's nothing here. So I actually have to look up what the Bible verse is. So give me a second. I'm using a cane all the time now because my balance for walking and standing is constant. Yeah, his balance is awful. And he also has to wear braces all the time. I do not have to wear braces all the time. So so, like, if you look at the generations just in my family, my grandpa, my dad, and me and my sister, we all have very, very different cases. It's the same disease. It's the same piece of genetic code that is messed up on us. And it presents completely differently, which is just crazy. It's just crazy. I'm looking. Our verse for today is John. Oh, if I was a good Christian, I wouldn't even have to look this up. John 3:16 and 17. I could do John 3:16, but I want to make sure I get John 3:17 right. So John 3:16, y'all, is today's Bible verse. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, so that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. That's our Bible verse for Advent, for the day, my friends. So now let's look at what oh, Gracie's decided that Santa is dead enough and she has passed out on the couch. Our faith action item for the day, ladies and gentlemen, I identify at least one time of the day that you can declare as social media free. They're big on social media free, y'all. Identify at least one time of the day that you can declare as social media free, perhaps at breakfast or when you're having one-on-one time with a loved one. Walk in the freedom of not having to check in and know that God can satisfy your longings. Social media free, y'all. As soon as you said if you were a good Christian, I knew it. Yep. Everybody knows that verse. Everybody. Of course, Julie. Of course. I purchased them and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but this is a great thing to use them for. Today's wellness action item is a mind action item. This evening, think back over your day and write down one victory you can celebrate. If you do this for several days or even weeks in a row, it's motivating to watch the little by little add up. 3 a.m. is social media free. No, see, it doesn't count if you're sleeping. You got to make the intentional choice to do it throughout the day. I love I'm so glad you guys are enjoying the cards. That makes me so happy. I'm glad to hear that, friends. All right. I am going to let y'all go because I have to go shower and get ready to go to tea with the caregivers. Thank you for joining me today. This is a lot of fun. Shout out to my father for showing up and making the conversation interesting. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you same time tomorrow.